Sure. All right, brother. Here we go.
Yeah, man.
Here we go. Yeah, I'm just clicking away here like a madman.
It says we're live.
5 o'clock. Yeah. 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. May 1st. 5/1. I think we've got 15 more days to go with this whole stay-at-home order from the governor. Hey, quick community note tonight. The Vermont Association of Insurance Professionals wants to recognize our local store heroes by offering them a chance to either nominate themselves or anyone else to win a local gift card to a restaurant. They're giving out 50 to local grocery store clerks and retail workers in Central Vermont. All you have to do is email VTAIPcares@gmail.com. Again, that's VTAIP, that's Association of Insurance Professionals, cares@gmail. Make sure you put in the subject line COVID-19 hero, and you can name a nominee. Make sure you include the name and the location of their store and their contact phone number. Winners are going to be drawn the week of May 18th during the International AIP Week. We'll put this info up on my Facebook page as well if you didn't get it. But another great thing coming out of our community. I have with me tonight, I am so proud to announce this guy who's become such a dear friend in such a short period of time, Chris Autrey from the Faith Community Church. Welcome, buddy.
Man, it's good to see you, buddy.
It's great to see you, too. You know, I wish that I had hair like you, because it would be so easy to manage right now. Because, listen, anybody that's staying home is having bad hair.
Except for you, man.
I've been wearing the same pair of underwear for like 2 weeks now. I've been swapping between two different pairs of sweatpants, and pretty much the one of like 3 shirts, and the hair, forget it.
Are you washing them at least?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding about the underwear. But man, you're the you're the pastor of the Faith Community Church, and what I love about you so much is that you're such a down-to-earth guy. And I got to ask you first off, you know, you and I have parenthood in common. By the way, happy birthday to Sam. How old did he just turn?
10.
10 years old?
He is 10 years old. He's double digits.
He's double digits now. And man, he's a fire. He is a fire. Your kid is red hot, man. I love that kid.
Man,
wild.
Thank you, man. Well, gosh, I don't even know where to begin with that kid. You know, literally 10 years ago, we adopted him when he was 3 months old. And so we were sitting in our adoption training, and we had no idea that he was born. And everybody kept saying, oh, it's going to take a year, 15 months before, you'll bring your kid home. And no, we finished with our home study June 20th. He came home July 28th. And yeah, and so just bouncing, and he is 1,000% Autrey. There's nothing not
true.
He is, gosh, he is. I don't even know. Some people say I spit him out of my mouth. I think he's the better version of me. Is what
he is charismatic with a capital C. You throw something at that kid, he catches it and immediately returns.
I
love it.
My brother made the mistake of using a what's the wrestler name? The Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh yes.
And he made a comment. I was like, no. Take that back. Don't listen to Uncle Craig.
Now 10 years old. Now with all this quarantine and everything, poor Sam, 10 years old at the house. Are you are you like me, or are you walking around the house and there's just so much crap laying around on the floor and it's getting underneath your feet and you're just kicking it around and you'll step on those Lego pieces with your bare feet?
Man.
Is that happening over at your house?
Oh, well, so listen.
Oh, it is. Oh, oh, it is.
Listen.
All I want to do, I just want to hear you say that you've lost your cool, even as a pastor, as a man of God, that you've become frustrated and have lost your cool.
Dude, I lose my cool every day. Oh yeah. Listen, the most famous Chris Autrey lost his cool moment was huge parent fail. So I'm not like highly organized. Like if I were to flip my camera around, you would be shocked at how messy my office is. But there are certain things, like I've learned in the winter that certain things have to be a certain way. So number one, I like to clip my mittens or my gloves together and put them in a certain place so that I can get them every time I go out the door. Like I try to keep things a little bit together. And so the biggest argument over this winter was gloves. And he would get, for some reason, one pair of my gloves and one pair of his gloves, or one pair of mommy's gloves, and he'd take off. And we wouldn't know where our gloves are.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So one day, and I just kept explaining. And then one day I found, we have a little boot mat so that your muddy boots, we all stay on the mat, take them off at the door. And there sat, I couldn't find them leaving, but there sat both pair of my gloves, soaked, muddied. He had them. I don't know. I didn't know he had them. They were underneath. And so I may have screamed at the top of my lungs, said, "These are my gloves," and went on a tirade for about 10 minutes. And that's all I really said. Well, I said a lot more.
Yeah.
But I said, "These are my gloves." Yeah, that happens it happens in the Autrey house.
We're having we have daily blowouts, sometimes half a dozen in a day.
Yeah.
It's just, but at the same time, wouldn't have it any other way. I love spending so much time with Lily. I took Lily and I were out for a walk earlier. She doesn't care if it's raining at all. We went out for a walk, and I just got to tell you this. We're out walking and we're walking on the side of the road, and we're going along, and we see a horse, and she says to me, "Dad, does Jesus create nature?" And I said, "Yes, he does." "Did Jesus create that horse?" I said, "Yes, he does." "What about that fence over there?" And I said, "Well, Jesus made the wood for the fence, but the man put the fence together." And she said, "Does Jesus make the trash on the side of the road?" Oh my God. It was like the whole walk. Does Jesus make this? Does Jesus? And I wish you were with me, man, because I would have just been like, he's answering. But she's just so intuitive with this, I don't know. I was just thinking of you. I'm wondering how you, as a pastor, would have responded the other night. Sherilyn and I had to kind of shut down the candy party, which was pushing into the 7 o'clock hour, which is, a huge no. And she was already hopped up on sugar a little bit. And we had to say, no more candy. And we had to actually take it and hide it. And she was so mad. I mean, she was beyond mad. She started yelling and screaming, and I mean, completely coming unglued, and saying that she didn't want to be part of the family anymore, and that she was going to be calling 911. And she went over and picked up the phone to call 911. How have you ever been through anything like that? And if not, how would you have responded? Man, I was ripped. I'm like, you don't call 911 unless it's an emergency. And she's like, this is an emergency, Dad. You won't let me have candy. What would you have done?
Well, first of all, I will confess that I can be talked into anything. And my son has mastered the art of asking mom for permission, then come and ask dad. And he knows that my attention span is always moving. So he knows chances are I'm not going to think about what he's asking me. And I'm not going to give the old, like, well, what did mommy say answer. Chances are I'm going to be like, yeah, that sounds good. So, and then he'll do it. And then something, right? So, and then it's my fault. It's my fault. So there have been times I've had to, as a parent, bear hug my son and pick him up and carry him to bed and bear hug him in order to get him asleep.
Yes, same here.
But so we've had, but those are parenting moments, man. Those are parenting moments. And we're not perfect. Not one of us are gloriously perfect parents. Like I make more mistakes in an hour than there's just like parents. Hear me on this. You're quarantined with your kids. You're used to being at work all day. Like cut yourself some slack, man. You know what I mean? Like this is crazy talk. This is number one. You need to treat your kids every now and then. Number two, this is not easy for them either, right? Mom and dad's at home. There's stuff they can't get away with now, right?
Yeah, right.
Because mom and dad can see stuff. And so now they got to re-navigate mom and dad. And at the same time, man, if your kids, if you fed them too much candy, cut them some slack, cut the candy off, walk them upstairs, give them a hot shower, put them to bed, and put them to bed. I mean, there's this thing called melatonin that might be helpful, small doses.
Yes.
Small doses, but man, just,
do they make melatonin lollipops?
I think parents I think we have to give ourselves a break. And listen, if the worst thing in life is you gave your kid too much candy too late in the day. Yeah.
And they called 911.
And listen, I threatened to call 911 on my parents. When I was a kid, I used to find my Christmas presents. And then I had a whole secret system to open the wrapping up and pull the present out and see what it is and then put it back without ever getting caught. Well, one day my brother ratted me out. And so at school that week, they gave me that little, I don't know if you remember this, they used to give us a little index card that had a 1-800 number on, like a hotline to call if you were, if your mom and dad were abusing you or something like that. Well, I had that in my pocket and I pulled it out and I said, ooh, I'm going to I didn't get to finish a sentence because I'm from the South. We don't do things like they do up here. And I don't remember the next 3 days. My mama she disciplined me. So
wow.
Yep.
Wow.
But
yeah, I hope that day never comes for me. But I hope Lily never does what you did. Playing that card. Wow.
Candy.
Man, I gotta tell you, I'm just wondering about with everything that's going on. How are churches across America holding it together and staying connected and jellified? And I don't know if that's a word, and I'm guessing that it's not.
You know
but
what?
Just
We're
together. You what? We're making it up?
Put it on a t-shirt, baby. That's a good word.
Jellified?
Shady Green is jellified. So, first, I think I'm trying to communicate to people that no one on the planet has ever led through or been through a pandemic before. Like this is the only time in the history of our society that we are all going through something the first time. Let me say what I mean. Let me say what I'm in a current livable generation. Like was it 1918?
Yeah.
There was a plague, and there's and so, but those who lived through that they're 102 years old.
Sure.
They wouldn't remember it. So this really is like the first time we've ever. So I think there's no wrong answer to certain things, and I think we give a lot of grace, kind of like your daughter. You give her grace. You look her in the eye. You know she's tired and grumpy, and she's mad. You got candy, and you just gently love her and walk her upstairs, put her to bed. And I think that's how we've got to respond to leaders now. As I think that we've got to respond to leaders with the same kind of grace. And when we complain because this governor or this pastor or this businessman is doing this or that, well, you know what? We've never done this before. And so as a church, that's kind of the posture that we're taking. And I think, first of all, I've learned as a leader, you will never be able to over communicate. As a leader, when you think you have communicated something, you have not. You can always over communicate. And that's, by the way, I'm grateful that you're doing this with me tonight, because we have something to communicate. And you're helping me do that. Two, we're having to make use of live stream, where in our church, we live stream all of our services. We record them all.
Anyway.
Yeah, we do that. We were doing that before this, but now that's what we're depending upon. And we're now having to learn to use things like Zoom, things that we were like, that's worst case scenario for us to have to do. Now those are things that we have to do. And so as a church, one of the things that we're trying to do is, and it's frustrating because guys like me, a pastor like me, I don't have experience in website development, IT, live stream. Like we're all learning this kind of stuff. And it's extremely difficult. But I'll also say another thing that we're trying to do is we're trying to stay in contact with those within our churches. And one of the things that we started doing early on was we took one day a week and we went and drive-by visited families in our church. And so we would simply pull up into their yard or pull up, at their door. They'd stand at their door, we'd stay in a car, and we would chat, check on them, pray for them, see how they're doing. If an errand needed to be run or something of that nature, we would, if they knew somebody that had a need, they could tell us, that we could figure some of that stuff out. And so we resumed doing that this week. We did about 9 visits yesterday, just in our church family. We'll do that again next week. But the other thing is you're just constantly on the phone and you're constantly emailing. Your
Sure.
life as a pastor is not slowed down. It's actually kind of ramped up a good bit. You're just constantly trying to stay in contact with your people. And everybody, our greater culture is very similar to the community as a church family, in that we've got a lot of people who are very scared of the coronavirus and they're very scared of getting sick. And then you got a whole nother group of people who are like, this is not as bad as the flu, and this is, it's not as dangerous, and if I die, I'm going to heaven, and we're okay, kind of thing. And you have to figure out, how do you speak to and minister to both? And so, today and this week, but especially today, we published a new video, and in it, we articulately said to our people, we've got to navigate this in the lanes of responsibility and courage. We need to be responsible for taking care of other people. And we need to be thinking about, I'm wearing my mask to protect the neighbor next to me, because we're trying to love our neighbor. At the same time, we need to be courageous, because this is the moment that the church is called to And this is the moment that we need to not sit back and sit down, but we need to rise and shine. And so that's my hope, is that the ministry of the church. When we went south a couple weeks ago, we had a death in our family. I was disturbed as a pastor by how many churches had signs of churches canceled or churches closed. And we refuse. Matter of fact, we don't just stay away from that terminology. We stand against it. Church, there's nothing closed about the church. We're pushing forward. Our community.
A church is light years beyond a building,
right?
With doors that can be locked.
Yeah, it is about Jesus who lives in us, and our goal is to make Jesus famous in our community. And our people need they need to hear the hope of Jesus Christ. They need to know about it, and they need to see that the church loves this community now more than ever. So it's extremely difficult. It's extremely difficult to navigate those kind of mindsets and thought patterns, and to create a different church culture, church life that's within those mindsets. We've got a plan to go forward, and it's all depending on what the governor and the task force allows us to do. I don't think that I can tell you this: the church is going to be much, much different after all this is said and done. And I don't think we're just going to flip a switch and start, resume things like we did before. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I hope for our businesses it's that easy.
Yeah.
Man, I'm missing some burger night at Cornerstone, y'all.
I know. Tuesday nights,
man. I'm missing it. But I think that for the church as a large mass gathering, it's going to be a slower rollout. And I don't think that's a bad thing, JD. I think that if anything, that amplifies the lack of relationships that we have. And let me detour off that. Do you know what is so beautiful about this whole coronavirus and quarantine? I think
I'll tell you what, man. I think there's a lot of beauty that's come out of this, and I could sit here all night and do a show on that. I mean, there's some horrible stuff too, but it has broadened my perspective on a lot of things.
Well, you just consider, we have not loved each other. Now, listen, I'm a Christian. Take Christianity out of it, okay? We, as a society, have never loved each other more than we have in this season. All the birthday parades, we have overlooked the value of essential workers, people like grocery store clerks. When's the last time you wrote a thank you card to a grocery store clerk?
Amen.
Right? Never, right? What do? We get mad at the grocery store clerk because they don't have the kind of bread we want.
Sure.
Right? But those dudes at Shaw's and Price Chopper and Hannaford, they are exposed to us every day, and they're keeping us fed. And I'll tell you the other unsung hero. We nurses and doctors, of course. But the other unsung hero is farmers.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
We do not treat farmers with the respect that they deserve, and they are the unsung heroes, and they're losing money, man. And so I just think I don't want us to go back to who we were before. I want us to keep this kind of love and dignity and respect that we have been longing for as a society.
We have learned over the last month or two. I've lost track of time. What we have taken for granted. I mean, it's the word essential can have so much gray area in it, but I mean, you talk about farmers. Absolutely. What about truck drivers? What about the maintenance guy and the people doing payroll at the hospital or the nursing home or the assisted living facility? You talk about essential. That's essential.
Yeah.
And the list goes on.
Yeah. and we overlook those guys.
Oh yeah.
We overlook everyone, all the doctors and nurses. We over think about this for a minute. I don't know what again. I, I can't. People go to the doctor and they like to argue with the doctor. Like I don't have an MD degree. Why am I going to go to the doctor and argue with him about? Oh, you got like I'm just not going to argue with a doctor, right?
Yeah.
And I think if anything, this goes to show us just how invaluable they are in our society and how we need to give respect to all these different groups that have kept us alive in this time. So I love the sentiment and the love that's been shared in our community in this season.
I'll tell you, our family here, we have laid in bed on a Sunday morning with Lily in between us and watched your sermon on your YouTube channel for the Faith Community Church right here in Central Vermont in Barrie, and with Lily right in between us watching it. We watched you baptize Sam.
Yeah.
So there's a real nice amount of connectivity that you guys are probably getting a heck of a lot more views on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Think of it that way, right?
Well, we are and we were. When all of this started, we saw a huge spike. We usually the numbers fluctuate before, pre-COVID, we were somewhere between 28 and 53 views a week. And then when COVID started, we were up to like 200, 211. Now we're back to about 100, 110, 115, somewhere in that ballpark range. But JD, consistently, like every visit we made yesterday, almost every family said online is great, but it's nothing like being in person.
Oh yeah.
It's nothing like being in person. So I shoot, man, I'm gonna tell you, I mean, I love the online thing, but they're right. I cannot wait for the day where we can gather back together, and there's nothing like seeing somebody, face to face. And like you pulled up in our driveway the other day, and man, we were so excited to see you, and just elated just to see you. And there's nothing like seeing someone face to face, even if you can't hug them, just to be able to put your eyes on them and to know they're okay and they're living and they're breathing, and to see the joy in their face or even the sorrow, and you just to be able to physically share that. Man, I just we're looking forward to the day where YouTube is back as a tool and not as a necessity. And
yeah.
And I'm thankful for it, man. I can't tell you how much it elates me, and how it just encourages me that you guys have been watching. But I can't tell you, our plan is as a church, and we're allowed to get back together, is we're gonna do a drive-in church. The city wouldn't let us do it when it all started, because right around that time the governor put down the stay-at-home order. Yeah. But we're gonna do a drive-in worship service in town, so everybody can stay in their car. And then we're going to gather in smaller worship services outside at FCC. But the moment we're allowed to come back together, every summer we go to church in the park at Courier Park, and we gather, we barbecue. It's a whole thing. Even if everybody has to bring their own lunch, we're going back to Courier in the park. We're going to throw the football around. We're going to worship Jesus. We're going to love each other, man.
I was hoping the word BBQ would be in there. That's good.
I'm shooting for a barbecue, and our barbecue guy, he's supposed to have surgery soon, but there might be enough time for him to heal up to get some ribs going.
Wow. Speaking of food, Faith Community Church right now is stepping up in a huge way to do something for our community. We all know that 1 out of 3 Vermonters is experiencing some form of food insecurity. This does not target a demographic. This this crosses all lines when it comes to food insecurity. And this is something that really continues to impact Vermont, New England as a whole, but especially certain parts of Vermont. And Central Vermont is not excluded. We've got a huge food insecurity in Central Vermont. And, there just can't be enough food banks. I mean, I know that the Vermont Food Bank does an incredible job. Capstone does an awesome job. Salvation Army. But you guys are stepping up now, and you're going to have a food drive at Faith Community Church.
Right.
I think if I read your note right, which by the way, you should really get on the mail subscription for Faith Community Church, because you're gonna read stuff and you're gonna see stuff that, whether you're a member of the church or not, you're gonna go, whoa, I didn't know that. And check them out on Facebook too, and the YouTube channel, 10 a.m. service on Sundays. But you guys are doing it this coming Sunday, right?
Right. So when all this started, we wanted to make sure, we know that you got enough ministries. You got Good Samaritan Haven, the Presbyterian Church, you've got Salvation Army, and then you've got some Heading Methodist Church. All of those guys have some kind of food service ministry. And so they make up what's called the Berry Interfaith group, and we belong to that group. And then, Capstone, we love Capstone Community Action. And so when all this started, we knew from meetings with those groups that this was going to be a huge need that need to be met in our community. So we held food drives for Capstone to start. And then we were gone 2 weeks, weren't able to make it happen. The other thing was that a large group of us volunteered to deliver food with Meals on Wheels to specifically with areas where there's homeless. So what the end result of that is, those meals are still going on, but enough ministries, which is a partner church of ours, enough ministries, they serve meals Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday during lunch. They are preparing food boxes with complete meals in it for families that will be handed out on Saturday, May 9th from 9 a.m. to 12, or at least until they're all gone. And we're anticipating, I haven't got the final number, but it's going to be between 100 and 150 boxes. So
wow,
it's first come, first serve. And we're still finalizing those details. But it'll be a drive-through, and so there'll be no contact. We'll put the box of food in your car, and you can just take off.
Where's that going to be happening again?
That's at Enough Ministries, and I believe it's going to be, they just took over the old First Baptist Church, and so I believe that's going to be at First Baptist. But I'll get back to you and just to finalize and make sure.
Okay.
So what we're doing is on Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. we've got a very safe way to collect food. And what we're doing is we've got a list of food, and from 2 to 5 p.m., we're asking the community to stop by Faith Community Church and open the glass door and set food on the table. And then I will be here this Sunday. Somebody will come in, myself will come in, I'll get the food, I'll go categorize it out. And that way there's no human-to-human contact. We don't have to worry about spreading germs. We've got kind of this middle intermediate walkway thing. And so that way we can effectively, and then we'll take the food and deliver it over to Enough to pack in the boxes for May 9th.
Wow.
So we have a list of needs from our community. We're looking for peanut butter, jars of peanut butter. We need at least 30 of those. Grape or strawberry jelly. We're looking to get at least 50. All these numbers are minimum numbers, so we can always take more. Boxes of cereal, so Cheerios, Frosted Flakes, Rice Krispie Treat, Rice Krispie. We're hoping for at least 50 boxes, hoping for 75 cans, at least 75 cans of soup, and 1 to 2 pound bags of white rice, about 75 bags, and then sliced sandwich cheese, like the good processed sandwich cheese. You know what I mean? That comes in the plastic wrappers that you can put on sandwiches.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, this Sunday from 2 to 5, you could donate all that food here. And then on Monday, we will take all that food and drop it off over to Nut.
And then it'll be distributed to the public on, you said Saturday, May 9th?
Saturday, May 9th, at Enough
Okay.
Ministries from 9 to 12, or at least, or until we run out of boxes.
Okay. So that's, I think that's the day before
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. Yeah. All right. Tell folks who may not be familiar where the Faith Community Church is. Tell us exactly where it is.
So we're at 30 Jones Brothers Way. And if you know where the Granite Museum is, we're in the same complex the Granite Museum. So you turn on Jones Brothers Way like you're going to the Granite Museum, and you hang around the curve and you just go straight. You can't miss us.
And that's like the old Hull printing building.
The old Hull printing. We have a huge banner out front that, has our name on it, our logo and stuff. Yeah, it's the old print shop, and it used to be a laundromat before then, I think.
Come on, guys. No matter what you're doing on Sunday, just take a few minutes out. If it's the type of thing where you don't really feel like, if you're going grocery shopping anyways, pick up a few extra items. Plan your day accordingly so that you can grab that stuff. If you're heading over to Price Chop anywhere, Shaw's, whatever it may be, and stop by between 2 and 5. You don't even have to, you just drop it right on the other side of the glass, and you'll be out of there in a matter of seconds. And Chris Autrey, who's right here, the pastor from the Faith Community Church, will be there.
Yep.
For a couple of hours on Sunday. And listen, if you don't have grocery shopping in your plans on Sunday, or you don't feel like going grocery shopping, just have a quick glance through of your pantry, see what you have in there. If you've got something that's new and unopened, if you got even one can of soup, I mean, you already know from hearing me talk many, many years about Stuff a Truck that it's the power of one is huge. One person, one can, and you get enough of them, and your lobby is going to be overflowing. So it's not about being a rock star and showing up with a whole pickup truckload of food, but if you can make a donation this coming Sunday, it's so important right now. It would be so appreciated by not only the Faith Community Church and One Ministries, but our whole community. I mean, it's what we're about.
Yeah.
Neighbors helping neighbors, Vermonters helping Vermonters. That's what we do.
Man, I'll tell you, being from the South, we got hurricanes all the time. And we've all been through them. I've been through, some of them haven't done anything but just bring some rain. Some of them brought great destruction. And I've worked in several hurricanes and doing aftermath relief work and that kind of stuff. I will tell you, it's a great sight to see in the moments of those destructions when people come together and sacrifice themselves and give. But you know what makes Vermont so great, and particularly Central Vermont community, what makes us so great is that sacrifice and that generosity is an everyday normal part of our life here.
Yeah.
And it makes me proud to live here. We don't go places and people ask where we live. We don't go and say, well, we live near Burlington because that's 40 minutes away. No, we proudly say we live in Barry because that is the trademark and the staple of our community, the sacrifice and generosity and how frequent it is in our community. So, man, I'm just so grateful. And I appreciate you letting us kind of share this story. This will be a blessing. Enough Ministries, they're not the only ones, but Enough Ministries does a tremendous job in taking care of our homeless community. And man, we just want to be a part of what they're doing, and we hope that everybody else will join in as well.
If you're not a churchgoer, you really should hop on YouTube and just punch in at the top of the screen in the search bar, Faith Community Church, and be part of the sermon on Sunday. This guy right here, next to me on the screen anyway, is the pastor. He'll be preaching. And trust me, he's got some pipes on him. He can put out some sound, some serious sound. Man, I'm glad that I haven't been in Sam's shoes getting hollered at by you, because I know that you can put out some volume. But you're so passionate, and it is so wonderful to see you and hear you preach. And if this is kind of maybe a test drive for you on YouTube, and once they get the doors opened up over there, you ought to forget the YouTube and get inside over at the Faith Community Church and meet Chris and become part of the family over there. You guys are wonderful people, you and your wife and your son Sam, and just everybody. And man, I hope we can have you over here for a little bonfire some night this summer.
Man, I'm game, brother.
We'll break out the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Woo! That's it. Okay, I'm joking.
Listen, man, I will make some more barbecue. Listen, it is pure joy for me to make barbecue. And I sent some to you the other night, man, and I hope I didn't hurt your feelings.
What?
We were all quarantined. I couldn't invite anybody over.
Oh no! Are you kidding? Oh man, no. Even if you had invited us over, we wouldn't have accepted. But we're quarantined too, man. But you love making barbecue. Yeah. I love eating barbecue. So,
well, I could help you with that, man. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'll tell you. It seems like with everything going on, people are either eating better or eating worse. I don't know about you. I'm part of the worst club. I know that you gotta you're watching what you eat and being careful with the whole nutrition thing. Man, we're just like Lily and I. We will sneak peanut butter and crackers when Sherilyn's not looking. We'll take 2 or 3 reams of Ritz crackers in a tub of peanut butter and go hide upstairs. I'm serious.
That's a good day.
Yeah, it's a great day. And we've even taken a gallon of milk with us.
How do you get away with it?
Huh?
You can't hide that up your shirt and act like. How do you get away with it?
What's you talk about how we've learned to love each other that much more. We've also learned what things our partners do that just it's like throwing gas in the fire now. Do you know that Sherilyn has literally, I'm not joking, has hidden the paper towels. She will not let me even think about paper towels.
Why? What do you do with paper towels?
Because I'm a paper towel-aholic, and I use paper towels for be a tiny little spill, tiny, and I got 5 or 6 sheets of paper towels, and I abuse paper towels. I something that could be a half a sheet, I've got 6 full sheets. So with everything that's going on and everything, and living under the same roof, my bad habits have kind of risen to the top like cream. And
I agree with you. I think you should use. I like tear off one paper towel doesn't work to wipe up anything, man. Never.
I
You
know.
gotta rip off like 4 or 5 for it to soak up whatever you're.
I
I'm
know.
totally with you.
So here I am in my own house. No idea where the paper towels are. I don't. They could be out in the barn. They could be up in the attic. I don't know where they are. I haven't seen them.
Becca, because I'm a 2 cup of coffee kind of guy.
So much.
But we got to ration out the coffee now.
Oh yeah.
And so the other day, when we got back, we were putting groceries away, and I was helping her, and she made the mistake of not telling me that there was coffee in the house. And I opened a cabinet I usually open it up, and like tucked in the back are 2 boxes of Keurig cups that I didn't know we had. And I'm like,
yes,
where did these come from? You told me we're out of coffee. We've had this coffee all along. I went like a whole day without coffee. Like, yeah. You know what we have to have from each other in our house, man? This is our love. I've called a daily 1 hour quarantine from each other. Everybody goes to their own corner, and we all got to have a break. Let's shut the door. Yep. That has to happen every day.
Listen, I leave you with this. Every time you open that cabinet to go in there and get a K-cup out, please, Chris, make sure you close the cabinet. Don't just leave it open. Do you always leave the cabinet? Why do you always have to leave the cabinets open?
Because I may have something else I got to put in there.
But the cabinet's open all the time. Why do you need to keep it open all the time? Close the cabinet.
It's like people who want you to take your shoes off when you come inside, but no, you're going right back out 5 minutes later, and you're gonna come back in 2 minutes after that. Do I got to take my shoes off every time I come and go in and out of the house?
Oh, that's me, right? That's me, and the other thing is the dishwasher, the dishes have been cleaned. The dishwasher is open, waiting to be emptied. How long is it going to be, just laying here like that? Put the dishwasher's been open. It's been sitting here for 3 hours. Put the dishes away. Don't just leave the dishwasher open, sitting there like that.
That is your cue to put the dishes away, man. That is nonverbal communication. That is.
Yes, it's true.
He's opened the door, and that's your cue. It's like that
yes.
scene. It's like the luggage scene, the luggage episode from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yes.
That's exactly what yours is. Yep. That's exactly what that is.
She told me she wants to get a shock collar for me. So, for the dog, so that she can have the little lanyard hanging around her neck and just be like bzz, bzz, from the other room. Bzz. I know you're not emptying the dishwasher right now. Bzz. Are we going to get through this, man? Are we going to survive? Are we all going to be okay?
I think we're going to survive, and we're going to laugh like crazy when this is all said and done.
Yeah.
I think we're going to survive, and I think we're going to grieve the loss of loved ones. I think we are going to be thankful that those who got sick are healthy. But I think there's going to be a season of where we're going to laugh. Crazy. Yeah.
There's definitely bad news with this stuff, but man, if you just take, and it's all over Facebook. I mean, it's all over your phone every night. If you want to sit there, and it's everywhere. Yeah. And I've seen it too, and I'll post up, I'll share stuff that's ridiculous and absurd. But if you just every night, just dig a little bit, and you don't have to penetrate the surface very, very far. If you just dig a little bit, you will see the good news that's come out of all the bad news. Like we just hit 1 million people last night that have had COVID-19 and have beaten it and survived. 1 million.
Incredible.
1 million.
That's incredible.
but that's not making the front page, my man. You know that.
Yeah, it needs to.
Sure.
It should be the number that is put up on the screen
Sure.
with all the other numbers.
Yeah, of
And
course.
we need to be focused on the hope of those things. You know, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but we were driving back from New York and we stopped in New Jersey at a travel center, and they got those like food courts with Starbucks and stuff, and I was actually had Popeye's chicken. I haven't had the Popeye's chicken sandwich yet, and so
Never had one.
I haven't either. So I was in my heart hoping that I was going to get one, and all they had left was Burger King. But man, I'm gonna tell you, we pulled in we used the bathroom, went to Burger King's, the only thing open, and they had like a small select menu to order from. And the dude back there working the grill, that dude was on fire. Man, he was the happiest guy. I mean, there's no reason he should have been happy. He's the only one working. Right. His boss was working the cash register. But man, that dude was so joyful and just flipping burgers and onion rings, all this kind of stuff. And it to me, man, like that right there, as crazy as our society is, that right there tells me that God is at work, and it tells me that there is not, and I know it's cliche, but there really is good in a dark time.
Sure.
There really is good in a dark time, and I think we are. I hope we take pictures of all of our crazy hairstyles, and we put an '80s filter on it, and let's see how much we look like our parents.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Listen, good luck on Sunday. Again, Faith Community Church in Barrie, right there on Route 302, starting at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. this Sunday from 2 to 5. You got 3 hours to bring some non-perishable food by. But again, you guys are also, I say non-perishable, but you're also looking for some cold cuts. Please make a donation if you can. You just pull up and we'll take it right there on the other side of the glass in the lobby, and you'll be on your way. And it's all going to, well, Vermonters right here in central Vermont. It's not going to be shipped off anywhere. It's staying right here in our backyard, and we need your help now more than anything, more than any time. And I think most of us
meal. Yeah, it'll give them a meal. Like it will give them a box of meals that they can live for the week.
Yeah. Brother, stay well.
You too, man.
Stay well.
Love you. Glad to see you.
Love you too, man. Say hi to Becca and Sam and everybody, and we'll talk to you very soon, I hope.
Tell Lily to watch the end of the sermon on Sunday. This coming Sunday.
Yep. To watch. Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. I will look forward to that. Thank you, my man. Appreciate it.
Hey, you can get rid of the
buddy.
now.
Thanks, my man.
See you, buddy.
Love you, buddy. Over and out. All right. Oh, gosh. I love talking with him. Chris Autrey from the Faith Community Church. Another quick note here. And I said it at the beginning, but I want to just echo this again. Community note that the Vermont Association of Insurance Professionals, got my note right here, they want to recognize our local store heroes by offering them a chance to either nominate themselves, or you can nominate anyone else that you want to receive a gift card to a local restaurant. They're giving out 50. Can you believe it? 50 to local grocery store clerks and retail workers all around central Vermont. What a great thing that they're doing. The Vermont Association of Insurance Professionals. Now, here's how you can nominate yourself or your business or someone else. It's real simple. You just send an email to the gang over there, and here it is. Grab a pen or a pencil, write this down. It's VT AIP, which is Association of Insurance Professionals, cares at Gmail. So VTAIP cares at gmail.com. Make sure you put in the subject line COVID-19 hero. Okay, and that'll flag the email to them. Of course, you should include the name of the nominee and the location of their store and a contact phone number if you can, so that they can find out that they won. All right, this could be a clerk at a grocery store. It could be a retail employee, someone working at the gas station. It doesn't matter. This is a great thing that the Vermont Association of Insurance Professionals is doing. As a matter of fact, they're going to be announcing the winner on May 18th. That is during, I believe it is International Association of Insurance Professionals Week. Okay. May 18th. That's when the winners are going to be drawn. So that'll be here in, 18 days. Welcome to May. Hope you had a great day. Quote of the day rather, from Lily. Today we were playing with Play-Doh, and she made this little guy out of Play-Doh, and she slides him over to me and she says, "Hey, Dad, say hello to my little friend." Aired out tonight, brought to you by Lauren Andrews, one of the great ladies over at Aeromed Essentials. And I don't know if you've had a chance to get over there. Well, I know they haven't been open for a little while now with the whole coronavirus thing on State Street in Montpelier and up at the Berlin Mall. But Aeromed Essentials is amazing. Not only do they sell essential oils, watch my Facebook page for some of the other things that they post up or that they sell, which are amazing, absolutely amazing. The organic CO extracted CBD oil is something that I use every day, a couple times a day. I begin the day with the CBD oil and I end the day with it. And I'm consistent with it. And it has made a huge, huge difference, especially with this thing right here. This is the new wrist, which you could probably see there's still quite a bit of swelling going on. But I had some bones removed from this wrist. And see that big hump right there? I don't know what I would do without it. It has made a huge, huge difference. So thank you, Lauren, and the team over at Aeromed Essentials for being a presenting sponsor and for the amazing products that you help harvest right here in Vermont. Again, it's all organic, and your mission is just as incredible as your product. Run by ladies, and man, they are so good, so good. 505-1405 is the phone number to order your products from Aeromed Essentials, and they will get them shipped right to your house, just like they do here at my house. Lauren takes the orders directly. 505-1405, aeromedessentials.com. If you want to hop on their website, have a look around, do some shopping right there, figure out what you want, and then you just place your order by phone, and it's in the mailbox in like 2 days. That's simple. I got to get some more CBD oil. I love it. And the relief lotion, which has got clove in it and arnica and CBD oil. Love it. Got about 25% left in my jar. Most popular sell, by the way, over at Aeromed Essentials is that relief lotion. Gauthier's Quality Grounds and Maintenance, one of my other presenting sponsors, Jason Gauthier. The guy is the king of landscaping and lawn mowing and just overall making your property look as best as it possibly can. Mows my lawn, does the weed whacking, works very hard with his son. They're making retaining walls. They are turning in the or turning over rather the crappiest end of your yard into the most spectacular end of your yard, and they do it with real craftsmanship. I've never seen a guy landscape like Jason Gauthier, Gauthier's Quality Grounds and Maintenance. You can find him right on Facebook, Jason Gauthier in Orange. Tell him I sent you. He'll come over. He'll have a look. He'll give you an estimate. Done deal. And if your lawn's like mine, you're going to be hearing lawnmowers running real soon. So we thank Gauthier's Quality Grounds and Maintenance. And of course, this one goes without saying, and he doesn't like a lot of attention. But Chris Wright of Wright Electric, dare I say, there's no finer master electrician. And I know I'm making him upset right now by saying that, but he's a humble dude, but he deserves some attention. He is so good. Right with a W, Electric, right here in Central Vermont, in Barrie. But he goes everywhere. Master certified electrician. Yeah, that's right. Let me say it again. He's got his master's license. That means he knows what he's doing. Somebody like me, if I want to find out if the wire's live, yeah, not Chris. I don't know. As a matter of fact, I've got some work for him to do over here at the house, so I'll be in touch. All right? All right. Hey, have a great rest of your night. As I always like to say, take care of one another. Be well. And we will catch you next week. We got some great shows lined up. Watch my Facebook page. I'll be teasing you and posting them up. All right? All right. Over and out for now. We'll catch you